Hi everyone, my name is Laura. If you are new here, welcome. If you are not, welcome back. Thanks for clicking on this video. So this is part 2 to a 2-part series that I did on my channel. The first part is all of the common wishlist plants that I have, and this part is going to be all of the uncommon wishlist plants. Like in the last video, I will do a little caveat here at the beginning. These are plants that are uncommon to me. I am located in the Midwest in the US, so these are plants that at my location are hard to find, are uncommon. I don't want to call them rare because they're out there. There's a lot of them out there. They're just hard for me to find here. Let me know down below if any of these plants are also on your wish list, and also let me know what plants you have on your wish list. I would love to get some inspiration from you, and maybe I can give you some inspiration too. The first plant on my list is the Philodendron Florida Ghost. It has that same shape as the Philodendron pedatum, which I love. It's a plant I absolutely love. But when the new leaves come out, they're white, and then they turn kind of this minty green, and then they harden off as like green leaves. That's so cool. Like, that's so cool. It's like a tri-colored pedatum. I love this plant so much. I wish I could find one for like a reasonable price near me, but they're always like in the hundreds. I'm not even kidding. And again, this price might not be reflected in your area. It's like March 2021 in the Midwest. These plants are expensive here, but I really, really wish I could find one. So beautiful. Look at this thing. It's so beautiful. I love this plant. I'm gonna say that about all of these. Of course, I love all of these plants. Up next, I have kind of I don't know if this is like a cliche wish list plant, but I have Monstera Elbow on here, and I'll combine it with the Monstera Thai constellation. I love both of these plants. If I had to like rank them on which one I personally like better, I'd probably put the elbow over the Thai constellation, but these two plants are so beautiful. I am a big lover of Monstera, the Borsigiana, and the Deliciosa. I love both of them so very much, and so a variegated one is just like, oh, love it. I really wish I could get my hands on one of these. I love these plants. If you have an elbow or a Thai constellation, I'm gonna live vicariously through you and your beautiful plant, because this is probably top of my list. I just didn't want to say it first because everyone wants an elbow or a Thai constellation right now. Everybody does. How could you not? Next on my list is the Philodendron Gloriosum. This is such a beautiful plant. I love its large heart-shaped leaves, and this plant, the leaves get big. Like, if it's a mature plant, the leaves can get really, really big, like big. I'll show you some pictures. I'm sure that saying big 100 times is not getting the point across, but showing you a picture is gonna get the point across. So this plant's so beautiful. I love the velvety texture. I have a Philodendron micans that I absolutely love the texture on, so I just can't imagine that in like massive, and the veining on this is so beautiful. I love this plant. It's so gorgeous, and it's like exotic looking. It's very different from a lot of the plants that I have in my collection personally, and so I would love to add this someday. Up next, I have another set of like 2 plants. This is probably cheating, but this is my video, so I make my own rules, so I can talk about 2 plants as 1 plant if I want. But here I have the Alocasia Silver Dragon and the Alocasia Dragon Scale. I'm lumping these 2 together because they are very similar in my mind. They might be very different to you, but they're very similar in my mind, and I want both of them, so they're gonna both be on this list together. Look at these beautiful plants. I feel like they're named so aptly, the Silver Dragon and the Dragon Scale. Like, they look reptilian, which that's freaking awesome, and they just they glow almost. Like, look at this, they're literally like glowing. I adore these 2 plants. I adore them. And there's a couple of local nurseries near me that have them, and every time I go, I'm like, oh, and I just stare at them, and sometimes I like stroke them a little bit like a freaking weirdo. They're beautiful. Look at them. They literally look magical. Like, they look like a little like mystical creature. They're so precious. I love them. Up next on my list, I have a plant that honestly, I'm surprised I like it because I'm not a really big fan of like that yellow variegation, but I love it on this plant. I don't know if it's like the shape of the leaves or what, but the variegated Philodendron Burlmarks is so cool. Like, it's such a cool plant. Like, the yellow variegation doesn't even bother me. Like, I usually am not a big fan of it, but it just looks so cool on this plant. Like I already love the Burlmarks. I have two because they're so cool. I love the way that like the leaves are shaped with the like little ears. But the fact that this is variegated too, like what the heck? That's so cool. That's so cool. And I think part of the reason that the variegation being kind of like on that yellow side doesn't bother me is because the grain tends to be like a darker green. So there's more contrast between the two, which I think looks really awesome. Next on my list is the Monstera dupia. This plant is so cool. I've gotten really into shingling plants, so I recently, well, maybe not so recently, but I did get a Rhaphidophora Hoya, and I think it's so cool how it just like shingles up wood or moss pools or whatever. And this plant does the same thing, but this plant is so neat. I love the venation on it, the pattern on it. I love that it's got kind of that like silvery green color to it, similar to the Scindapsus, which is a plant that I adore. This plant is just so neat. I mean, look at this thing. It's so cool. Shingling plants are just some of the coolest things. Like what the heck, nature, you're so neat. You're so neat. This next plant is going to be a Hoya. I'm a big Hoya lover, and it is the Hoya sarawak. What the heck? How could a plant be so cool? This is a Hoya that has leaves like the size of your face. Right? Like, what the heck? And the flowers are so beautiful. Not that I've ever had a Hoya flower. Not that I could probably ever get it to flower if I got one. But they're beautiful. Look at them. They're like pink little gumdrops. They're so cute. The venation on this plant is incredible. The shape of the leaf is so cool. It's like a little bowl almost. Ah, so cool. Someone tell me where I can get this plant. Literally, what the heck? How can a plant be so cool? Look at that. Look at that. I love it. I love it. The last plant on my list is also a Hoya, and it is the Hoya rotunda flora. This plant is so cool. The leaves come out like little rectangles. Like what the heck? What are you doing? You're just like little rectangles. I love it. I love it. And correct me if I'm wrong, while I was doing brief research for this video, I could not tell the difference between a Hoya rotunda flora and a Hoya rotunda folia. So are they different? If anyone knows, let me know down below, because if they are different, I want both of them. And if they're not, then I just want one. Or I'll take 100 actually. I'll take 100 of these little rectangle leafed plants. I don't even think there's another plant out there in the world. I mean, that's probably super duper wrong, but that I've seen out there in the world that has little rectangle leaves like this. And they're so cute and they look squishy. Ah, so cute. And the little flowers look like mascarpone almost. I don't know. I don't know if I'm hungry because I keep comparing all the Hoya flowers to food, but don't they? Like little marshmallows or like little mascarpone. Ah, they're so precious. I love it. I love it. Where can I get me one of these? I need 100 of these. So that's it for today's video. Let me know what uncommon wishlist plants you have down below. And also let me know if any of these plants are common in your area so that I can be extremely jealous of you. Literally, what the heck? Why aren't these plants common everywhere? I love them. Make sure you give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down depending on how you felt about this video. It helps me know what kind of content to make because I want to make sure I'm making enjoyable content for you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!